Imagine this. Just one handful of the wrong snack can send your blood sugar skyrocketing by more than 60 points in under 15 minutes. And here's the worst part. Most of these snacks are labeled healthy, heart-friendly, or energy-boosting. The truth? If you're living with diabetes or simply trying to keep your glucose stable, 95% of what's on the shelves is quietly sabotaging your health every single day. But here's what shocked me. For the past several weeks, I've been wearing a continuous glucose monitor on my arm. I tested snack after snack, from the super healthy ones everyone talks about to some you've probably never heard of. The results? Some sent my glucose on a wild roller coaster ride, but a few barely moved the needle at all. That raises a big question. If there are snacks that taste amazing, are easy to find, and won't cause dangerous spikes, why are so many people still choosing the wrong ones? Is it because they've never seen the real data? Or because they've been tricked by marketing buzzwords? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact snacks I tested myself. Snacks that, according to my glucose monitor, kept my blood sugar rock steady. Some are right there in your local grocery store. Others might surprise you, but all of them share one thing in common. They're far safer for anyone with diabetes, and for anyone who wants to protect their pancreas, their heart, and their vision. And before you assume this is going to be a list of bland, boring foods, let me prove you wrong. Let's start with a snack that's crispy, nutty, and bursting with flavor. Yet so low in carbs, it's almost unbelievable. Snack number 1. Crackers and chips. Low-carb, high-fiber. When you think of crackers or chips, you probably picture something salty, crunchy, and loaded with refined carbs that send your glucose soaring. That's why this first snack is such a game-changer. Picture a cracker made entirely from nuts and seeds. Sunflower, pumpkin, flax, chia, sesame, with zero refined flour and not a single drop of industrial seed oil. Each serving? Just 5 grams of total carbs. But here's where it gets exciting. 4 grams of fiber. That means only 1 net gram of carbs per serving. Practically nothing. And this isn't just a health food that tastes like cardboard. The flavor is rich, nutty, and perfectly seasoned. The texture is crisp but not dry. I've had it plain as a snack, and I've crumbled it over tuna salad for lunch. Both times, my continuous glucose monitor barely budged. It was as if my body didn't even notice a sugar load, because there wasn't one. The secret is the fiber. High-fiber foods slow down digestion, reduce the absorption rate of any carbs you eat, and act like a natural buffer for glucose. For people with diabetes, fiber is more than just good for digestion. It's your best ally in keeping blood sugar steady. Now, not all low-carb crackers are created equal. Some, like those made purely from flax seeds and apple cider vinegar, can also be a good option. They're slightly denser in flavor, but still come in at just 1 net gram of carbs per serving. But here's the golden rule. The more whole seeds, nuts, and fiber a cracker has, the better it is for your glucose. And the fewer additives like refined starches or seed oils, the cleaner it will be for your overall health. And while this is one of the crunchiest, most blood sugar-friendly snacks you can keep in your pantry, it's not the only way to satisfy cravings without a spike, because sometimes what your body really needs is protein. And that's exactly where we're heading next. Snack number 2, protein meat bars and sticks. Here's something most people get wrong about snacking. If you start with protein, you can control the way your body responds to carbs later. That's why these high-quality meat bars and sticks are more than just a quick bite. They're a blood sugar strategy. A good meat bar is nothing like the jerky you see hanging in gas stations. It's soft, chewable, and made from simple ingredients: lean cuts of beef or chicken, a pinch of seasoning, and no hidden sugars. Some of my favorites deliver 10 to 11 grams of protein in a single serving, with little to no carbs at all. Why does that matter? Because protein acts as a natural glucose regulator. It slows the emptying of your stomach, stabilizes digestion, and keeps your blood sugar from spiking when you eat something afterward. So if you know you're about to have a small portion of chips or another carb-heavy snack, eating a meat bar first can dramatically reduce the glucose impact. The key is to choose clean brands, no seed oils, no added sugars, and minimal processing. If the ingredient list looks like it belongs in a home kitchen, you're on the right track. Pasture-raised or grass-fed meat is even better, giving you higher quality fats and more nutrients per bite. I've tested this myself, a meat stick first, then a handful of tortilla chips. Without protein, my glucose monitor showed a sharp climb. With protein first, the rise was smaller, slower, and shorter-lived. That's the power of sequence eating, and it works even better with the right protein source. Now, meat snacks are fantastic for savory cravings, but what about something that feels indulgent, creamy, and refreshing? Believe it or not, yogurt can fit the bill, but only if you know exactly what to look for. Snack number 3. Yogurt, plain strained, high protein. Yogurt might sound like an innocent, gut-friendly snack, but for people with diabetes, most yogurts on the shelf are more like a dessert in disguise. Take a closer look at a typical fruit-flavored cup. You'll often find 11 to 17 grams of added cane sugar in just a 150-gram serving. That's the equivalent of 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar in something you thought was healthy. Even vanilla isn't safe. It almost always comes with a hefty dose of added sweetener. Here's the problem. Yogurt is naturally a fermented food, which means it should help your gut bacteria thrive. But when you dump refined sugar into it, you undo many of those benefits. And for blood sugar control, that extra sugar is a guaranteed spike. The fix? Go for plain, unsweetened yogurt, and make sure it's strained. Strained yogurts like Greek or Icelandic Skyr have had much of their natural lactose removed during the straining process. Less lactose means less natural sugar and more concentrated protein. The numbers tell the story. A 150-gram cup of plain strained yogurt might have just 4 grams of natural sugar, but pack in 16 grams of protein. Compare that to the same amount of regular yogurt, 5 grams of natural sugar and only 5 grams of protein. The difference for your glucose is huge. That extra protein works like the meat snacks we just talked about. It slows digestion, flattens glucose spikes, and keeps you full longer. You can add fresh berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon if you want flavor without wrecking your blood sugar. So yes, yogurt can be one of the best creamy snacks for diabetics, but only if you choose the right one. And speaking of treats, you thought you had to give up. Let's talk about chocolate. Snack number 4, dark chocolate, low sugar, keto-friendly. Chocolate is one of those foods people with diabetes often cross off their list immediately. But here's the twist. You don't have to give it up. You just have to choose it wisely. Even 70% dark chocolate, which many people think is healthy, can be loaded with added cane sugar. A single serving might have 9 grams of added sugar, more than 2 teaspoons. That's enough to send your glucose climbing fast. The secret is to go for low-sugar or sugar-free dark chocolate sweetened with safer alternatives like monk fruit or erythritol. These natural sweeteners don't raise blood sugar the way cane sugar does. When I tested one of these keto-friendly chocolates, the results were striking. I ate 2 pieces, about 30 grams, and my continuous glucose monitor barely moved. No big spike, no roller coaster, just steady numbers. The net carbs are usually the giveaway. A good keto chocolate bar might list 9 grams of total carbs, but after subtracting fiber and sugar alcohols, you're left with only 2 to 3 net grams per serving. That's a completely different story for your blood sugar. Quality still matters. Avoid brands that sneak in palm oil, natural flavors, or artificial additives. Look for bars with short ingredient lists. Cocoa, cocoa butter, sweetener, and maybe some nuts or seeds for texture. The result? You get that rich, satisfying chocolate flavor, a boost of antioxidants, and none of the sugar-induced crash. So yes, chocolate can still be on the menu. And if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear about the next snack, one that looks perfectly healthy on the outside, but can be either a glucose bomb or a blood sugar-friendly drink, depending on one simple factor. Snack number 5. Low-sugar vegetable juice. Juice is tricky. It looks healthy. It says organic on the bottle. It's made from real fruits and vegetables. But here's the truth. Depending on what's inside, it can either keep your glucose stable or send it spiking faster than soda. I tested this myself. One day I drank a green juice that looked perfect. The label showed apples, mangoes, and bananas as the main ingredients. No added sugar. Sounds harmless, right? 30 minutes later, my continuous glucose monitor showed a 63-point jump. That's huge. Why? Because those fruits, while natural, still pack a massive dose of sugar. In that one bottle, there were 37 grams of natural sugar, over 9 teaspoons, all absorbed into my bloodstream almost instantly because juice has no fiber to slow it down. The next day, I tried a different green juice. Same organic label, but the main ingredients were celery, cucumber, kale, collard greens, and lemon. Natural sugar? Just 6 grams. This time, my glucose didn't budge. Not a single point. The difference is simple. Juice made primarily from vegetables is far better for blood sugar than juice made from high-sugar fruits. If the label lists apple, pineapple, or mango at the top, think twice. If it's mostly leafy greens, cucumber, and herbs, you're in safer territory. For an even better option, try something like lemon water with cayenne or turmeric. One brand I tested had just 5 grams of carbs per bottle and still delivered a refreshing, tangy kick. So next time you're in the juice aisle, don't just grab the one with the prettiest green color. Read the ingredients. Check the sugar, because the right choice can be as harmless as water, and the wrong one can be a glucose bomb in disguise. And if you want a snack that's portable, nutrient-rich, and completely shelf-stable, the next one might become your new go-to. Snack number 6. Low-carb nuts. Nuts are one of the most underrated snacks for blood sugar control. They're portable, nutrient-dense, and naturally satisfying. But not all nuts are created equal. Some are blood sugar allies, others are quiet saboteurs. Take cashews. Delicious, yes, but slightly higher in carbs. A 30-gram serving has about 8 grams of carbs and less than 1 gram of fiber. That means more net carbs and a higher chance of pushing your glucose up. Now compare that to dry roasted almonds. The same 30 grams give you only 3 net grams of carbs, plus 3 grams of fiber. On top of that, you get magnesium for nerve and muscle health and vitamin E for antioxidant protection. That's a snack that works for you, not against you. Pecans and macadamia nuts are even lower in carbs, just 2 net grams per 30 grams. And they're rich in healthy fats that keep you full for hours. But there's a trap to watch for. Many store-bought flavored nuts, sea salt and vinegar, honey roasted, barbecue, are coated in seed oils like sunflower or canola, and sometimes even sugar. These additives are inflammatory and can undo the benefits of the nuts themselves. The safest choice? Plain, unsalted or lightly salted nuts, roasted without added oils. If you want flavor, add your own spices at home. Nuts hit the sweet spot for diabetics: low carbs, high fiber, healthy fats, and a satisfying crunch. And if you thought they were good, wait until you meet the next snack, one that's creamy, rich, and nearly carb-free. Snack number 7. Aged cheese, avocado, and berries. If you want a snack that feels indulgent but barely touches your carb count, aged cheese is hard to beat. Cheddar, Parmesan, mozzarella. When they're aged, the natural sugars in the milk get eaten away by bacteria during fermentation. The result? Almost 0 carbs, about 5 grams of protein per stick or slice, and healthy fats that keep you full. That combination of protein and fat slows digestion, keeping your glucose steady. Plus, aged cheese is portable, perfect for tossing into a lunch bag or grabbing on the go. Right alongside cheese in the blood sugar hero category is avocado. Half a medium avocado gives you 5 to 7 grams of fiber and only 1 to 2 net grams of carbs. That's a rare nutrient profile in the food world. Mash it with a pinch of salt and a splash of vinegar or lemon juice, and you've got a creamy, nutrient-rich snack your glucose will barely notice. And for a touch of natural sweetness, berries are your friend. Raspberries lead the pack with a near-perfect balance. About 8 net grams of carbs per 125 grams and a whopping 9 grams of fiber. Strawberries are another great choice, with around 10 net grams per cup. What sets berries apart from other fruits like mangoes or pineapples is their lower sugar content and higher fiber. That fiber acts like a brake pedal for glucose, making berries one of the safest fruits you can enjoy regularly. With aged cheese, avocado, and berries in your rotation, you have snacks that are satisfying, nutrient-dense, and friendly to your blood sugar. And now that we've covered all 7 snack categories, it's time to tie it all together and show you why changing just your snacks could transform your blood sugar control for good. So here's the bottom line. You don't have to give up snacking to keep your blood sugar steady. You just have to choose smarter. From crisp, fiber-packed crackers to clean protein bars, from low-sugar yogurt to keto-friendly chocolate, from vegetable-based juices to low-carb nuts, and finally to aged cheese, avocado, and berries. Each of these is proof that taste and glucose control can live on the same plate. Every time you swap a high-carb, sugar-loaded snack for one of these options, you're protecting your pancreas, giving your heart a break, and keeping your vision sharp. And the changes add up fast. Steadier energy, fewer spikes and crashes, a better A1C at your next checkup. But here's the catch. Knowing this won't change your health. Acting on it will. That means making your next grocery trip count. Picking the snack that works for you, not against you. And remembering that every gram of sugar you avoid today is an investment in the body you'll have tomorrow. If you're ready to take control of your blood sugar one snack at a time, drop a comment that says, "I'm choosing better snacks." And let's see how many of us are taking this seriously. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because the truth is, you might just be the reason they avoid their next big glucose spike. I'm Dr. Jonathan. Here's to smarter choices, healthier days, and a life not ruled by blood sugar swings. Take care, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next one.